Hello, 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 and welcome back to the continuing adventures of Whippet as he whips it. Treks through the dungeon. Where last we left off, Whippet, the spry Spriggan, had cut and slung his way through the lair, garnering enough ammo in the process that I am not actually able to carry it all simultaneously, and cleared out the lair without acquiring any notably good jewelry or armor. Did I get the troll leather here? Whatever. I think I got the cap of intelligence while I was here. This is an interesting buckler, by the way. +3, -5 int, but I don't need int, so it balances out to 8, which is fine. Also, my axe of evocations at this point should be, yes, evocable blink is up to 4% fail, which, while not perfect, is reasonable. And I've been training dodging and shields, obviously. Dodging because important and shields because important. I think at this point, I want to get shields up to... Spriggans are short, so buckler should be, I think, a 9 penalty. And once that's done, I'll switch over to armor for the remaining training of my defensive skills. Fighting will stay on regardless, because when you're working with as little base HP as I am now, it pays to really milk every little bit of that base HP. So where to next? My vote would be for the Orcish Mines, and since nobody else is voting, it sounds like I win. So Orcish Mines, here we come. There is significant risk associated with going to the Orcish Mines. Ooh, where did I keep my food? Go back to the lair and grab that, please. Alright, Orcish Mines. That risk being, well, what else? Death, could potentially come. More specifically, I don't think that Orcish Priest's smite attack, Wrath of Baog or whatever, can be dodged. I don't think that it checks my dodge, and if it doesn't, then I'm going to be incredibly vulnerable to groups of them since I have such a low HP to work off of. But, again, vulnerable does not mean deadly. I should be just fine, in all fairness. I should be just fine. It's just a matter of being aware of my limitations as a Spriggan. And my limitations say that fighting all these guys at once is a great idea. No, what it really says is I want to get a pull on the big guy. And I did. Captain's Cutlass will scissor most enemies to pieces. I can just stay here and kill you guys as long as you're not draining me. Because with a dodge of 36, the problem is that most of the time you're going to take no damage until one time you're going to take tons of damage. And that's okay because you can, since I've been training fighting as much as I have, I can probably afford a couple big hits. But a couple is not the same as, 2 at once followed by 2 at once. Do I have digging? I do have digging. Okay, good. And my telewand has been ID'd. Yes, there are 3 goes to it. And there is another wand of teleportation that I've left behind. Perfect. 2 named uniques, one next to the other. If I skip a turn, one of them will be adjacent to me and I can pull it. Don't know which one, so we'll find out. Fanar usually is vulnerable to fire, actually, so let's just go ahead and use ordinary sling bullets of fire to take him out. And as you can see here, he was in fact using a ring of ice, which did not help him against my fire. Do I want any of his stuff? Troll leather is much better, for me at least, than cold resist. Going blind and staff of freezing I don't need. So let's just, let's take my bullets and run. Okay, so that leaves Maurice, who will not be able to go invisible from me. And with my dodge, I should be good against his dagger. So whip out the sling of velocity to make sure that I am well armed. And prepare to kite. Stones against the lesser orcs, please. No need to make a mess of things. Zaps a wand you resist. I don't know what wand he's working with, but what's the worst it could be? You can blink all you want. It's not gonna help you kill me. I can see you after all. Big advantage he usually gets is that he's invisible, so without that, he's not that scary. Wand of Confusion. Oh yeah, even if he had got me, I could have just cured out of it. Captain's Cutlass, down floor, charge my targets, and take them out. Urug. He usually comes with decent javelins of some variety, so let us velocitize and use some branded ammo. Fire will be just fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 shots. That was a lot of shots, actually. And I did get most of my bullets back. No, Trog. How kind of you. Grant me a useless bow. I will identify it because it might still have something of worth, but it in fact does not. Actually, it's a +0, +14 worthless bow. It denies me casting that I don't need, is speed enchanted, which would help. Honestly, that's the kind of bow that makes you want to switch over and start playing a archer, despite the fact that it's stupid. To do so. Because yeah, my attack speed is above average with this. And I have a +2 to bows. If it cross-trained with slings, I would be all over this, actually. Yeah, this is very much an endgame weapon. But you know what? I'm not gonna pretend. I came in here with the sling, and the sling is what I will die with. Bull Trap denied me half my health, so I may have to miss out on the ice cave on account of that. We will see. In the meantime, Sling of Fire with basic stones, please. These are imps. They're not worth heavy ammo. But fire ammo will make short work of them. Conservation is on board, so I'm not as worried about their pelts costing me or their pinprick freeze berets costing me valuable items while I'm here. Just take you out. If you think I'm worried about preserving stones, you're dead wrong. Okay, we did make the ice cave in time. Any potions I want to drop before I enter? Speak now or whatever. Let's lose potion of porridge. Let's lose 5 cures, 3 heal wounds. Let's lose potion of magic. Not that I ever will use that. Actually, take that with me in case it cracks instead of what I need. Same with brilliance. Drop 3 agilities. Drop restore abilities. Keep the resistance potion. You may end up using it. And I have conservation, so there's a good chance I'll actually be able to keep and use these potions that I take with me. Drop a potion of speed. Okay, there we go. Oh, and more potions of carry. Okay. Into the fray. Well, this is a hell of a place to come out, isn't it? So there's 2 ways I can do this. I choose to engage these enemies. So what we're going to do is back off. Then we're going to dig our way into a nice narrow corridor. Let's take a passing attempt at confusing the lead dog. With any luck, we'll weaken the rest of them as a result. And then wield... And the reason I'm trying to retreat into this corner is so if I blink, I can blink past them all and get out of here. Wield the... DPS is going to be very important in a situation like this, so wield a velocity, but do not quiver fire, as that's going to be very important later. Give me a couple exploding rounds, actually. That's 1. That's 2. Okay, very good. Now quiver me the ordinary sling bullets. That's 3. Okay, Captain's Cutlass. Perfect. Yeah, without that hallway, I would have had a much harder time because I would have pretty much had to take them on many at once. Okay, come at me, bro. Come on, bro. Alright, Polar Bear is coming first. He's wounded on account of the Ice Blast, I presume. So let's just pelt him with fire. That's failing to hit him. Let's try with more fire. That hits this time, knocks him out. Sack all these corpses, pick up these rocks. Oh my god, there's another one, and this one didn't manage to get damaged in the blast. Of course, he did manage to get damaged by getting hit in the face with fire rocks. I think the wolf may have actually died to the blast, if you'll believe that. Okay, we are through. Next neck of the woods. Hey, you, idiot, come this way. Alright, very good. Kill. Now what? Ugh, this is gonna be tricky. Do I have a disintegrate wand? Remind me if disintegrate works against these guys in one shot. Probably not. But it is susceptible to fire, so wield a high DPS weapon with fire bullets. Because I have a very finite number of turns in its presence. Or rather, I would like to have a finite number of turns in its presence. Alright. Bloodstained War Axe. Probably worth carrying out and testing when I have more ID scrolls. Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. Woohoo! Alright, there we go. That's more like it. A large... Oh, this is too good to pass up. Where's my lightning rod? Or wand? With even marginal training and without training in evocations, this is still a fairly powerful weapon. With even this marginal training that I have, though, it's almost unfair how much damage I'm going to drop on these guys with that. Alright, as always, take advantage of my incredible attack speed and dodginess. And recognize, of course, that I could be using Trog's abilities more liberally if I so desired. Unlike many a Berserker run that I do, where there is no benefit whatsoever to saving Trog Piety, here there is a technical benefit in that I'm getting more ammo overall as I do. I say technical because more is again relative. I have so much. Okay, that thing is a lot faster than I'm giving it credit for. I've stacked at least one poison on it, and that'll have to do. Quiver me ordinary stones. That poison will help. Perfect. Give me the captain's cutlass. Get into a narrow hallway. The side benefit of, or the side effect of having called down half the level by using my lightning rod also was not unintentional on my part, though I didn't explicitly explain that was my goal, because I kind of want to lure them into this place where I, as a speedy Spriggan, have all the tactical superiority, instead of being surprised by them over and over. Okay. I wonder if this could work. It looks like it could. I'm just using ordinary stones because I have all the time in the world, and there's really no risk whatsoever at falling in the lake. My strength is good enough to virtually guarantee that that's not going to happen. But they are not smart enough to avoid me. The only real risk is what if I can't reach my ammo. Oh, you can cross. No, you can also cross over into death. That should have thinned out their herd at the very least, and eliminated it at the very most. There's more of them coming down the pipeline. Give me the frost. Actually, I don't know that these guys aren't resistant to that somehow. Okay, Vorpal brand. Give me Captain's Cutlass. Cut this thing into ribbons. Disintegrate. ID. Spear. Alright. 1x1 hallway, no significant threat. I'm just gonna stay here until I get hurt. At which point I can either initiate regeneration or not, as the case may be, depending how bad it is. I hope there's no dragon at the end of this, because right now this is just going so smoothly, I'm almost waiting for the other shoe to drop. And these ice caves are notorious for having frighteningly powerful endings. Like a frost giant when you're not ready for one. But even if that happens, initiate teleport, go invisible if it'll help, and just run. I'm not obligated to win. I'm just doing this for the... Notice that I already, thanks to Chaw Gifting, have pretty much all the weapons I would want. And while I could do with some more armor, the odds of me finding anything other than resist cold enchanted stuff is pretty dismal. Okay, so next. Okay, I guess there could always be... Oh, dude, if I chase you right into death by ice, it's gonna be hilarious. Nope, okay. Oh, sweetness, an apple. Eat it. There's no need to save that thing. Alright, multiple polar bears. God only knows what's behind them, but I dare not pull anything more since... Yep, we're gonna be going through ice clouds. Anyway. So why don't you come at me, bro? Give me a chance to show you why they call me the Spriggan. Actually, they don't call me the Spriggan, they call me Whippet. And I'm not showing you why they call me Whippet, because that has everything to do with my sling and nothing to do with my saber. Alright. This is a bad place to get into a protracted fight. Just run. Give me a fire weapon of some kind. Same logic, I guess. Did it die? It died. Good. And you just came through the ice cloud, so let's take you down fast. I do love that these guys are not invulnerable to ice, but are tough enough that they try anyway. Backing out. And I lost my first potion. This is why normally I would have dropped all except maybe one of my potions, but given that I had conservation, I decided to take the risk. Okay, that frost giant, for last seen, was there. So what we're gonna do is dig our way here, so that we have a non-ice cloud way of approaching him. Cut this thing to ribbons here. Such is the nature of greed that I can spend minutes describing to you why this is a bad idea and then do it anyway. Though it occurs to me that I have two untapped talents that could make this fight a lot easier. So I'm going to use both of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brother in arms. Berserk. I'm sorry, I wasn't taking any chances this time. Cost me a fair chunk of piety, I'm sure, but... And as you can see, it blew my... Normally the first time I call Brother in Arms, it's pretty subpar. But given that I haven't called it all game, this time it dropped the Etten, which is one of the best things you can get. But it was worth it, just to be on the safe side. Burn both these books. That'll get me back much of, if not all, the piety. There was in fact no good loot, so I'm just doing it for the... I was just doing it then, I guess, for the XP at this point. Heal up. Exit. A, B, C, D, E, F. ID the axe so that I can drop it. Drop the axe now. Really, I'm not sure that I should be IDing random artifacts anymore. I already have the blink. I'm not even sure what properties another artifact would have that would make me hold on to it. Normally, I would say I like to have a see invisible option, but, well, I'm not a... I mean, I'm a Spriggan. I have that by default. I think I already have a saber of AC plus 5 lying around somewhere, and I'm obviously never going to use it, so not sure why that's relevant. I should really cut this video at this point. It's gone on account of having stopped to go into the ice cave. It's already gone on fairly long. Just come at me. I want to pull you guys. Yeah, it definitely was not dodging the smite. If so, I don't think that that guy would have been capable of hitting me with it 2 times in a row like he did there. So dodge probably does not work on smite. But I have enough health to survive a few smites. If I didn't, I wouldn't have even entered this place, honestly. Okay, what can I drop? It's contributing to my weight. Probably need to drop stones, honestly. Am I still carrying them? Yeah, drop 18 stones. And I'll be on. I want to impress upon you guys. It's not that I'm not using the slingshot to preserve ammo or anything. It's just that this captain's cutlass is getting the job done. Why should I bother? All right, you all come towards me, please. Oh, come on, one of you. Go down the other. Okay. That's a bunch of gnolls. Let's make sure that they will hit the stairs. Not that it's relevant, I just don't want to advance too far and get flanked or anything like that. The advantage of the Spriggan is the retreat speed. If I manage to let enemies get in from behind me, what's the point of it? I mean, there's still a point. I didn't mean to imply otherwise, but... Alright, let's just scissor up this priest. So it looks like, despite my better judgment, I am going to be completing the Orc Mines, or at least attempting to complete the Orc Mines before I cut the video. Oh well, you guys will see the continuity of the whole Orcish Mines plus an ice cave. Or I'll die. Let's not ignore that possibility. Alright, that was a big mistake. I hit auto explore by instinct, and that was a mistake because, as you saw, and as I just made a big deal of, I'm trying very specifically to do the explore in circles around the stairs and be systematic so as not to get flanked. Let's go back upstairs to the known so that I can sort out my weight problems and get my speed back. Thank you, Purge. Let's keep... I mean, I have a trio of good slings. Let's ditch... We need to ditch half the cure potions at this point, and I don't even know what enemies are vulnerable to silver and what aren't. Blah 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 blah. Chaos blah blah blah. 75% more damage blah blah. Extra damage against mutated blah blah. Mentally handled by those it affects. It weighs twice as much as normal ammo. What? It weighs twice as much as normal ammo? Well, screw this. Okay, get me out of the Orcish Mines. And drop half, if not more, of the silver sling bullets here. I'm sure it's useful against certain enemies, so I'm going to keep a small handful on the off chance that I come up against an enemy that is obviously a mutagenic type of enemy or whatever, and I just want to DPS it faster. But double weight for questionably useful under most circumstances brand? Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. Bring the wargs into the hall. This is, again, putting myself at a lot of risk, because if one of those doors open, only God knows what'll come out. Okay, the crossbow is painful. Let's get back into melee range. Okay, I'm gonna die against this kind of DPS, actually. So, initiate fear, and then run for it. Definitely put on regen MR, which will stack with my troll leather, and head for the stairs. I've obviously gotten a good pull out of this. That's not nothing. That's the wrong one. That's the one I'm going for. Quiver me. I don't really care. Anything is fine. Anything that gives me the boost to DPS is better. Fire me an exploding bullet. Right here. Nope, exploding bullets apparently will continue until they reach their final target, even if I had stated which target I wanted to hit with it. You must die. Okay. Quiver me ordinary stones. Since you're not really that big a threat, I will just stay back. The unwoon. Okay, wield me the velocity again. I admit the stones right now is a matter of ammo conservation. It's unnecessary, strictly unnecessary. It's just, I also know that these guys don't necessarily require me to take them down with my ammo, and I'm only doing it to extend my range a little bit further, so I'm leery of using actually good ammo on them. Not leery, I dislike the idea of using good ammo on them. Feels like a total waste. Taste my cutlass. A cutlass. Okay, that's an orc knight. You merit proper attention. So please, sling of velocity and poison bullets. Poison bullets. 1, 2, 3. Now quiver me frost bullets for the deep spike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now wield the crystal sword or the ordinary cutlass and finish you. Alright, let's... What I would really like is steel bullets. Lots and lots of steel bullets. Extra damage, very, very unlikely to break. They weigh a ton. If I got a good stack of those, I would probably take a strength +1 just for convenience. And, you know, ditch any of my normal stones and bullets altogether, as they would become almost completely redundant. Okay, what do we got here? Heals plenty. All of which are of course nice. Sorry, I wasn't paying enough attention. Heals to plenty on the resistance. How am I doing for heal wounds? 4 is plenty. I don't need that much more. Yes. Excellent. We found the food pantry. Let's grab all the bread rations right now. And a honeycomb for the road. That's going to put me over weight. So quickly, let's make it back to the dungeon proper. I will just drop all the stuff in the dungeon. Where's food? Where's food? There. 3T and U, why not? Okay. GO4. Go 4! Okay, now I'm auto-traveling because I already have exposed the dangerous area and I'm just doing cleanup. There's probably bigger threats yet to come. I mean, I still haven't seen a sorcerer or a high priest, and given that the ending has all these 4x4 chambers, I'd be surprised if there aren't any. Alright, let's get down that hall. Captain's Cutlass against you. You're not that strong, unfortunately for you. Let's get back into this narrow hall. Oh, don't get flanked. Certainly don't flank yourself. That guy's using a trident. Jerk. That's a knight, so let's leave space on the off chance that it has a ranged weapon. Okay, it does not. Wield the velocity with sling bolts of frost. Excellent. 4 shots and a kill. Dex is a 90% boost. The slings have a 90% dex tilt. The saber has a dex tilt as well. So I'm obviously going to go with dex unless there's a reason not to. And right now my woes with weight can all be taken care of by just being a little bit less of a pack rat, so I'm not about to give in to the temptation. Hey, assholes, come this way. That's a reaching weapon, so come around the corner. That's an axe. That's not an axe. Burn everything. 16 more sling bolts of flame. Amen to that, bro. You are in my way. You are not in my way anymore. Okay, we've emptied out those upper and lower chambers by now, and now we're slowly drawing attention from the side chambers. We should get towards the side with stairs on it, though. Like, right now, if I had to retreat to stairs, it's a very long distance. And there we go. They are in a war frenzy. This is a good time to start retreating, actually. Let's go velocity with my newfound fire bullets, was it? And just start laying waste with my powers. Alright. Alright, we'll go frost. Nope, that's with the wrong bullets. Velocity. Alright, Captain's Cutlass again. Altar of Baal, I shall slay an orc over it, and then sacrifice it to my god. Defiance of your puny orcish gods. Close the door. Not that it will make even a whit of difference, but you know. Actually, if I could... Oh, that's a crossbow. Then charge and berserk. Berserk may have been a mistake, actually. May well prove to have been a big mistake. Because it was strictly unnecessary and it puts me at a, not grave, but a significant amount of risk. But all's well that ends well, and this ended quite well. Antique armors include a robe, which I'm not interested in, and I have better than pretty much everything else there is likely to be, so thanks but no thanks. And potion shop reveals potion of mutation. Do I have a cure mutation? Do I have a mutation? I already know what that looks like, okay, so I don't need to buy it to discover it. Not that I would have, I guess it would have said if I needed to, wouldn't it? I don't need any of these, I'll just take porridge, because porridge is sick. And just drink that now, and get my food back up to maximum. Or a little bit higher. Righto, I believe that should about do it for the Orcish Mines. And this was admittedly much, like on the scale of difficulty, this was a very easy Orcish Mines. If they had given me a branch ending that included lots and lots of centaurs with arrows, bows and arrows, I would have had a much harder time of it. Not impossible or anything, mind you. Look at how heavily I made use of the Captain's Cutlass and realized that my evade 38 would have been even more helpful in that context. Shields is almost done with the appropriate level of training. In fact, I'm tempted to just keep playing until it's done so I can turn it off. Velocity and quiver exploding bullets, please. You're not going to get this kind of a shot very often. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's like whirlwind sneak attack on your rogue. Blah, 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 blah. Actually, you know what? Let's check out the other ways up. I can definitely still pass that off as me doing the Orcish Lair. Orcish Mines. Oh, God. This is a good reason not to stick around. Let's try a different one. Okay. Now, given just how dangerous that ending is, I think it behooves me to use a little bit of a slightly different approach to it. Let's use the dig wand to create a communication between these two sides, and then quickly take out the Orc High Priest, and you know, any other enemies I desire I can take out at my own, in my own way, at my own pace, and at my own leisure. With a safe retreat that doesn't involve using a staircase while surrounded by 6 enemies and trying to use pulling strategies when I have the HP of a Spriggan. This is a very risky position to put myself in. Not very risky, this is a risky position. Alright, dropping shields because I've hit 9, which if I was using magic would have been sufficient to negate my penalty for a buckler as a Spriggan. I don't know what it takes for melee, but I assume it's less, not more. Because, you know, the crawl developers think that magic should only be used by skilled players, I guess. That's 2 stairs up and 1 unknown. That's fine with me. And there's a couple unknowns here. Let's try this downstairs. Pull the priest. pull the sork, or the magic, pull the wimps, and take you all out by main force. Another rune saber, of which I have no desire. Alright. I'm just gonna take you all on. And for those who have said before that don't train blades at all, because if you do, Trog will gift you that, please recollect that Trog is a dick, and he'll gift you whatever he pleases, whether or not you want it. I already picked up. That was great. I came to this floor and that guy got hit with a sling. I already got gifted a bow. An amazing bow, granted, one that made me seriously reconsider my current training options, but a bow nonetheless, as a Spriggan that makes no use whatsoever of them. The only thing Trog will guarantee, and in fact most gifting gods will guarantee, is that whatever you get will be physically equipable for some combination of your character, race classes, build. Alright, now we're just gonna come at y'all. Coming at you from every side, high voltage. I think that's all of you guys, actually. Yeah, that's much goodly orcish slaughter. So now I'm actually becoming very careless. I know for a fact I've taken out the bulk of the... The thing about Orcish Mines is when you enter a floor, there's no saying how hefty what you face is, and once you get past that, it's generally downhill from there. There's actually a lot of good scrolls, and I intend to take a lot of them. I identify for certain. Enchant Weapon 3, it costs 300 gold, but, you know, what am I going to use my gold on otherwise? Enchant Armor and Recharging goes without saying. What's left? Take a pair of Fear and Fog. That finally something to spend my money on, right? Here we're going to drop surplus scrolls. I'm not convinced, but I believe Sling of Velocity is going to be my endgame weapon. As far as slings are concerned. It certainly is a good weapon. It's a high DPS, it's a well-branded launcher, and it's my game and my mistakes to make if I'm wrong, so what the heck, let's run with it. We should probably get it up to 5, 6 before burning a level 3. You know what, just do it. Wield, read. It's still a 4-6, so I got nothing out of that. 300 gold down the crapper. Okay, what else? Troll leather. Troll leather is probably worth enchanting in all fairness. I'm not gonna wear dragon armor anytime soon. Am I? Depends how this armor training school goes for me, but probably not. And without that, there's no reason. Oh, let's ID this crystal sling, by the way. -2, -5 with a resist elect component. Well, it's absolutely useless as far as slings go, but resisting the turn where you find Nicola next to you is always worth carrying something for until Nicola is dead. I already have the potions of resistance, rendering it redundant, but I don't mind that little bit of redundancy for the moment. Let's just make sure I put it on a capital letter so I don't accidentally equip it for some reason. What else? Recharging. Any wands particularly worth recharging? Yeah, sure, the teleport wand. I mean, since I have 4 recharge scrolls, it might as well. Of course, how many teleports do I have? I have 4 new scrolls. You know what? It's not worth it. I can save this for the heal wand that will come down the road at some point. So, drop this. Drop most of my recharge scrolls. Keep the fog and fear. Drop a couple of the magic mapping scrolls. Drop a fear and an extra teleport since I have the wand. Drop most of my agility since I never actually remember to use it. Drop fully half of my curing potions. Keep most of the heal wounds. Just drop 1, I guess. I don't know why I'm carrying Potion of Magic and Brilliance. I don't make any use of either of them. I've thinned it out considerably. How am I doing for weight? I have a good 1/5 of my weight available to me. Perfect! that should about do it for item management for the time being. And by extension, oh yeah, eat the honeycomb off before. And by extension, that should about do it for my Spriggan. I guess one thing I could do is go and grab. Where are? Oh, okay, they're all here. So what am I carrying in terms of food right now? Please tell me I'm carrying something. A bread ration and a choco with a potion of porridge. Excellent. There's a stack of bread here if I ever want it. So that should about do it for my Spriggan's item management for the moment, and by extension for the Spriggan. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you want to, I think a very good auxiliary / proxy goal for the game, for determining viability of your build, is Lair plus Orcish Mines. It obviously doesn't tell you if you can do a 15 rune run or even if it's viable for just winning, but it gets you to the point at which most games IMO ought to. A game with permadeath ought to go for about 2 to 3 hours, I would say, and that's about how far this thing gets you. So it's a good marker for how good you're for doing decent with a combo. And I'm happy to say that my second try on this, less a few rerolls on the first 2-3 floors, has been this successful. Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next time.